What's up, y'all? My name is Andre Hopkins, also known as Andre Interview, and today I'm joined here by 100 Thieves Asuna. How are you feeling?
Could be better.
Yeah, yep. I mean, hey, it was a good game out there today. So I'll just hop right into it here. So first question, just with the unfortunate loss today, how do you guys look to kind of change it up for the future to try to get back into the win column?
I think problem solving. I need to improve that a little bit more and identify when a team is exploiting a weakness and just, make a good solution around that. And yeah, we can't rely on, yeah, I mean, yeah, just the problem solving, honestly.
Yeah, because I've honestly been a big fan of these Sage comps you guys have been pulling out. I talked to NBS about it. It's just kind of like off the wall. Do you think that adds an extra benefit for you guys going into games, even though you guys have played a little bit more? But like, it's hard to scrim against these Sage comps. Does that add an extra benefit of catching teams off guard?
Yeah, definitely. Not a lot of people run like, these types of comps with Sage in it. And yeah, we catch some teams by surprise. And obviously, once we show it, we still have more things to show. So yeah, it's just an overall small benefit, but we also believe in it, so makes it a lot better as well.
Okay, so I asked this question earlier to Bang, but with the core of 100 Thieves before, with you, Bang coming back in, and then Cryo, and then also bringing in Vora, Timotino, and NBS. How have you seen a change in play style and coaching, and just how do you feel about it?
Yeah, we're just trying to be a lot more calm and controlling, with this iteration of the roster than my last two. Obviously, a bit funny looking back, but yeah, that's like the goal. So, just trying to keep our energy at a good level, obviously be excited and hype each other up, but understand, for when we're calm and in control, we'll win. So that's like my, biggest thing that we're working on as a team that's, different from last year. And overall, yeah.
So before you'd say you was a more of like a aggro kind of, would you say like not uncontrolled, but more of like a wild play style versus this year?
I would say it's more like thriving in chaos. We're looking for big brawls, big team fights. We're looking at 5v5. And this year we're looking for more methodical, just clean execution of things and yeah, just being together. Yeah.
Okay. So one of your opponents this week, Mata, tweeted out after his last game, judge, shorty, bucky, in reference to how many shotguns you're seeing in this meta. And during the pressers, I asked you about just how you feel about this meta, but now playing it with a few weeks, just how do you feel about how strong shotguns are in this current patch of the game?
Yeah, I mean, shotguns have been a thing in my life for a second. I queue ranked in the morning and I play against, I don't know if you know this player, but Daznerf. So it's like been a thing for me for a while, honestly, but it hasn't been in the pro scene or scrims. And if you look back, like last year, I was running the Judge on Neon. I only played it on a couple maps, but I whipped it out like here and there. It's just now, you know, people are definitely a lot more embracing it with Neon and like thinking it's like a mainstay gun. But I think it's more of like you whip it out like an Outlaw and like you choose a good moment. And forcing in 12 rounds is definitely not ideal. Definitely loses its, spark. But yeah, I think overall, I remember on the bonus round I had a judge and I one pumped the Atom on Pearl A Wood, like A main. I don't know what people call that. But yeah, I the third round I pumped him and I picked up his Vandal and Ace. But I remember when I pumped him, I was like, damn, he's not happy. Like I wouldn't be happy either. I just slid and just boomed him. But yeah, that felt good. And yeah.
Also, on another note, that ace was clean. That was some good stuff out there. It was very nice. You talked a little bit about how you would look to try to change shotguns being a you can't jump, I believe is what you said before. Do you still kind of hold that same belief of that being a good method or a good idea to try to nerf them?
I think Tim said that, which I thought was a bit silly.
Ah,
Because
okay,
we did an
yes.
interview together. So yeah, I
Yes,
think he
yes.
said it. I think I said like I don't even know what I would say honestly. I don't I don't think the judge was like too crazy overtuned. Like yeah, I'm not really feeling it too much. Um but yeah, I don't know, honestly. It's just more map dependent, really. That's like a bigger problem on like certain maps, like Split is the problem I run into where the way the maps are designed, it's like you don't have enough utility to clear all these corners and be methodical. It's like eventually, like if you respect it early on, and you don't take any risks, like pretend like you don't want to peek a judge in a close quarter combat, like angle, you're eventually gonna lose, like the game, the round. Like you can't win by thinking like that. You're gonna have to eventually peek him, like clear some angles, like insta pre-fire swing. So yeah, I think like split it's very hard, and I don't know what the solution would be. I think the bigger problem is with the shorty, honestly. I feel like everyone's got pocket shotgun. That's like the bigger problem. At least someone who buys a judge, they have to commit and like they're gonna have some bad like rounds. There's gonna be rounds where you're like you can't even play. Like oh you started B and they hit A. It's like okay, I have a judge now. Now what? I can't. There's nothing you can do. So yeah, there'll be rounds where the judge is definitely a lot weaker. So
Yeah, I'm kind of the same idea that like the shorty just feels so oppressive sometimes. Just the fact that, like you said, you can take a fight with somebody and they just have a shotgun, and you're
yeah,
like, oh,
if
well,
someone's in a smoke, it's like okay, he has a shorty. Now what? I just can't. I have to die. Like I have to go in there and just one for one or spam, wait, and it just doesn't feel good.
yeah, I think that's kind of the general from what I've heard. Just like not fun to play against. What would you think is more kind of oppressive in this meta? Would you say it's shotguns or something like the outlaw?
Definitely the outlaw. I'll be honest. That gun just makes it so you can't have as many good buys. Like you can't light armor, so then you have to heavy. But then the economy in this game isn't too crazy. So when you lose your crucial gun round, you have to heavy, and then he whips out the outlaw. It's like just it feels like a cycle. At least the judge, like I said, yeah. But I'm more of a scoped gun hater than anything. Like at least like yeah. I think the Bucky does need a little bit of a nerf though, because that thing one pumps like it gets one kill for sure, and if you don't insta trade him, he can for sure get another one. Like it does more damage than the judge. It's just obviously semi-automatic, so that's its drawback. But yeah,
Yeah, and just the cost too, just how cheap it is. It feels like it's just there's no you don't get punished for buying it if
yeah,
you.
like you buy it instead of a sheriff, and you're guaranteed to get one if they come to you. If they don't, okay. But then like EG, they employed a strategy where they had 5 Buckies, so you're bound to run into one Bucky. Someone's gonna get a freebie, so you get a free kill, and if they don't trade you instantly, you basically have another opportunity to pump someone. Minus 200, I think is what the kids say. So yeah,
Yeah, that strat. When I was watching that game, I was like, do they have 5 Buckies right now? I
yeah.
mean, just
We
this.
played them first
Yeah,
game, and I saw it. I'm like, wait, maybe this is kind of meta. And then they played Furia, and I got them an eco win, and I'm like, wait, these guys might be onto something. I've been trying to incorporate it whenever I play Neon, just buying the Bucky, but I'm not. I'll be honest, I'm not too good with the Bucky as I am with the Judge.
just I remember I watched it. I said to my friend, I'm like, this is just dishonest Valorant. This is. I can't hate on them because if it works, hey. But I'm just
Yeah.
like, this is something. So during the pre-stage presser, I asked you about becoming like more of a flex player, switching up, playing a lot more roles. But we've seen you kind of come back onto the neon a little bit in this stage. Just how does it feel to be back on that duelist role, playing some neon?
Feels good. I mean, obviously, the map we won today was the one I played on Neon, so felt really good and had a really good game. I felt like I was in control, and yeah, we swung a lot of rounds together. I made honestly probably one or two mistakes, but overall that Neon game felt perfect for me. I thought we were playing really good, and also I was making very correct decisions in hectic scenarios, and overall also hitting shots, so that helps a lot. But yeah, I think that Neon game felt really good, and we experimented on a lot of maps where I played Neon. So it doesn't like it's not like how do I explain? They just threw me on like one or two maps of Neon. It's like we tried it on all seven, and like I got a lot of reps, which helped me get like the rust off. Because when you're playing a whole week and you have like only Neon, it's like wow, okay, you're gonna get like unrustified if that's even a word. So yeah, then obviously we're like okay, we don't like it on this map. We don't like it on this map. We don't like it on this map. We want to do something else. And then it's like okay, we have like these two maps or three or four or whatever. No leaks that I am playing Neon. So then it's like okay, I got a lot of reps playing Neon as an agent because it's like a specific one of one agent. And then, I played it before. I played it on Pearl. I played it on Haven. So, those two maps, uh, yeah, I've had reps from previous years. So it's not like it's anything new for me. And I've also played it with the same composition. It's not like I played Neon with, double initiator, full support, utility coming in, setting me up. It's always been, yeah, you're on Neon and someone else is, Phoenix, Yoru. I have like a second in backup with me and more of a tank.
It's your job just to get in there and make space for the second person.
Yeah, yeah, something like that. But sometimes you gotta, show up, even if
Yeah.
it's your job to, be a little tank, because a tank can shoot.
That's I like that analogy right there. How does it differ playing neon in that solo support style versus playing it in, like you said, like the kind of tankier go in first style?
I've never played the full support Neon, honestly. Even from like the very first time Neon's been released, I've always had like my first roster when Neon was released was with Will, Derek, Bang, and Stellar, and it's always been like we have a chamber, so it's like, or yeah, but that one was like the closest I guess on Fracture where we ran like I think KO and Breach, and like I got a lot of support and it felt really good. But yeah, besides that, it's always been like, oh, we have a someone else that's like really insane and we need to set them up and like, you're just gonna have to figure it out, be self-sufficient. And I think Neon is a very good self-sufficient duelist. Like you can get out of a lot of scenarios if you play micro really well, and also like solves a lot of macro problems if you're like need a beat timing. So overall, it's like yeah, it's like versus other agents, Jet and like well, I'm gonna use Chamber even though he's not a duelist. Chamber needs a lot more
Mhm.
setup than a Neon. A Neon can like take control of like what he needs with just minimal util because of how instant his utility can be casted. And it's like, it's like fine, like, oh, you're getting rushed, you can just throw a stun down. It's like I was trying to think about it. There's not a lot of abilities where are instant casts. Like Waylay Hinder was one, and they immediately nerfed it. And like you can tell how big of an effect it is. Like imagine Neon, if you couldn't instantly just stun, you had to pull it out and then stun. Like that would
Mhm.
feel not so fluid. And obviously it'd be a pretty big nerf, but like the fact that you can use instant ability and it's not like that for most kits where there's like a build up or a charge up or a pull out or something,
Mhm.
then like yeah, that's why Neon's like pretty self-sufficient. You end up like in odd scenarios where sorry, I'm going on a rant, but basically, when you VOD review, it's like with Neon, it's more micro than
Mhm.
macro. It's not really like, unless you're playing like obviously defense where you have to rotate and you're a fast rotator or whatever. A lot of the mistakes you make on Neon is just like, oh, you should have like stunned Neon slid a little bit differently. And like, yeah. So either way.
Yeah, I was kind of just thinking about what you said about the whole being so self-sufficient. Like imagining if any other agent could just like if Hale could just click his flash and instantly throw it, and after like
Yeah. Like imagine it just pops out of his body
yeah, and
and
it just
now you
flies
flash
out.
everywhere. Like it
Yeah.
makes it so if you have quick decision making, it's like very strong.
Hmm.
So that's why that agent's like you gotta like know what you want to do instantly.
Hmm. Okay. How do you feel about your upcoming game next week against Crew?
Should be a good game. Honestly, we have a lot to learn, and yeah, I feel like we played really well the first two maps and fell off a cliff on the third map. But overall, we still felt a lot better than the Sentinels game. I'll say that much. So, if as long as we keep improving, we should be good against Crew, and then I think Furia. So yeah.
Hmm. Just that Timotino where he's just screaming like we got around. That always makes me laugh. Or they showed the coach cam NBS was just screaming. He was just yelling. It was so
Oh.
funny. He was so hype. And then lastly, do you have any words for the 100 Thieves fans?
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate all the support. Thank you so much. Honestly, it's like very hard in the past 2 weeks, and reading any positive comments always just make it a lot easier. And it's not, even though people say a lot of mean things, it's like it's nothing compared to what pro players say about themselves. And so it's just like, yeah, I mean, but the positive comments definitely make it a lot easier for me and to like not move on, but feel better about myself throughout the entire week. Because it's like I feel like with Valorant, you're as good as your last game. So we lost. So it's just like gonna be a shitty feeling. There's nothing yeah. I don't know. But yeah, I appreciate all the support and thank you so much for believing in me and the team, the staff, everyone. And we're all trying to, put in 110%. There's not a single day where we're not like putting it all. And even then we're staying like 10 hours, super late days, everything, and 6 days a week, everything. We're trying our best and yeah, we're gonna deliver results as long as we can show up what we do in practice to match time.
I think it's very well said. So thank you very much for your time, and good luck next week in your game against Screw.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate the interview. Take care.
No problem. You too.